Good morning folks, Daniel here from Roots and Resilience. Welcome back today. Well, this morning it's chilly outside and I figured what should I make for you today? And I thought, well, I'm making the thing that I like most of all, and that's bread. Bread, absolutely amazing, simple to make, and nowadays ironically very expensive. Today we're not just making any bread, we are making a super tasty artisan tin loaf which has nuts, it has spelt flour. It's absolutely delicious. Come along with me today, I'll show you the process. It's super easy, very difficult to get wrong, and I hope you enjoy it. So then let's take a look at the ingredients. We'll start with the basics. We're going to use 4 cups of strong bread flour, 1 cup of spelt flour. As you can see, this is from a well-known supermarket. We're going to have a dessert spoon of honey. We're going to have 1 sachet of yeast. I believe that's 7 grams. We have a knob of butter and some olive oil. There's about 2 tablespoons of olive oil. We're going to throw in a small handful of mixed seeds. I love these pumpkin seeds and some of these lovely crunch. We're going to put in 2 cups of warm water, a good grind of salt, and more importantly, this doesn't go in the bread, but it goes into me, a good slurp of coffee first thing in the morning. And what we're going to use is a large loaf tin which I've lined with parchment paper. I've got my measuring cup, a small whisk, and I've got my mixer which I've put a dough attachment on. So let's start adding our ingredients. Into the bowl I'm going to add my sachet of yeast, followed by 2 cups full of warm water. So this is about the temperature that you would make a baby bottle if you have children. I'm going to add in my honey. It doesn't need much honey, it needs just enough to give the yeast a feed. The yeast likes a little bit of sugar to activate. Let's scrape that off onto the whisk. Give it a bit of a mix. And now I'm going to add approximately 2 cups of our flour. This is just plain strong white flour. I'll mix that in. Give it a stir. And we're looking for a mixture that resembles smooth wallpaper paste at this point. We're not trying to make a dough. This is like a pre-proving where we get the yeast alive. And we continue with this until we're nice and smooth. And then finally, we're going to cover this using a tea towel, and we're going to leave it until the mixture is big and bubbly. So around 45 minutes have passed now. Let's take a look at our mixture. Wow, big, bubbly, happy, live yeast, ready for the next stage. So let's bring all of our ingredients together. I'm going to add a cupful of our spelt flour, along with approximately 2 cupfuls of regular strong flour. What we'll do is we'll add 1.5, and then we'll add more if we need more. We don't want our mixture too dry. I'm going to add our butter mixture. So we've got butter, olive oil that I've just softened in the microwave. That goes in. A real good pinch of ground pink rock salt, maybe 2. And some seeds. This is a mixture of all different types of seeds. There's sesame seeds in here, there's pumpkin seeds, we've got all different crunchy flavours and textures. I'm going to put a big scoop. In fact, let's go, and I'm going to have 1.5 scoops. I like my bread nice and nutty. And in our mixer, we're going to knead our dough for 2 to 3 minutes, just until all of the lumps are gone. If you're doing this by hand, I'm afraid it's going to be a bit longer. It can be worthwhile though and fun. So now let's transfer our dough to our baking tin. I find it easier to just remove the dough hook, get my hands in, get a bit mucky, lift all of the dough together and into a lined baking tin, a large one. There we go. Let's get the rest of that dough off of there. And now what I'm going to do, I'm going to flour my hands, flour the top of the bread, and I'm going to push it down into the tin. Like so. And then on top, as it's a seedy loaf, I'm going to sprinkle some seeds and just push those into the loaf of decoration. Okay, so now I'm just going to cover my prepared tin in some paper, like so. Wrap in a tea towel. We don't want it tight, just loose and hanging. And I'm going to place that in the oven on the plate warming setting, or the lowest setting that your oven can go at. In the summertime, you don't need to put this in the oven, just leaving it on the side, it'll be perfectly well, it'll prove on its own. But it's winter time now, it's a bit chilly, the heating's not on, so I'm going to place it in the warming setting in the oven. It's going to be in there for around 45 minutes to an hour. I'm going to need to check on it after about 45 minutes just to make sure it isn't overgrowing the tin. Let's get it in the oven. So I've removed our risen dough from the oven. It's been in there for about 45 minutes. Let's have a look under the tea towel and under the parchment. It's looking great. So what we're going to do is give it a little squeeze towards the centre of the tin, like so. And that will now go into a preheated oven at 200 degrees centigrade for around 30 minutes. Now the best thing about baking bread is that sneaky first slice while it's still hot, which I'm going to partake in right now. So let's cut into that. Let's see that. Wow, that bread is absolutely amazing. If you've enjoyed watching my video as much as I have enjoyed making it and eating this bread, please give a like and a share. That was Roots and Resilience, and I'm Daniel. Have a lovely day.